We get a journey that is different from the ones previous, as Ducktales comes back with the one episode. In the end, it is Della Duck that we follow, as we follow here her life on the moon, how much has happened to her, and what she tried to do, as a lot of callbacks to other shows, or not shows, but to video games the Ducktale franchise happen. It is truly an emotional journey about the character that is Della Duck. Angry Anime fan here too, with DuckTales. Woohoo! And it's season 2, episode 7 of DuckTales, which calls itself Whatever Happened to Della Duck. And what did happen to Della Duck? Well, we find out here. This is what happened to Della. 10 years ago, she did crash on the moon, just as everyone thought of. And how did she survive on the moon? Well, we finally actually do find out. Before she tripped, she actually had packed Gyro's Oxychew. A very nice callback to the DuckTales remastered game where they also chewed something called Oxychew. Although then it was a little bit mint flavored. This one is black liquored flavored, which Della do not like, but of course, necessity has no law. And even the gum itself provides nutritious water, and well, you can breathe on space without a spacesuit. I wonder though if Gyro made it black liquor just to mess with Della, because there is some implications here that he did not like Della, although technically he doesn't seem to like anyone. But he even has that thing. He even has a manual on how to rebuild a ship, and then he says to it, "Oh no, this instruction is it's so simple, even Della could do it." So I guess Della was adventurous, just not bright. Or putting together a ship is never easy. Either way, the first time she believes she will be saved. And while we all know that Scrooge sent out rockets, none of them really found anything. Eventually, after some months, she even tries to do signals, but turns out the moon is inhabited by a creature that feasts on metal, disturbing one of her rescue attempts, which is a pretty heartbroken scene. It is also revealed that Della has lost the use of her leg, because when she crash landed on the moon and chewed her Oxychew, her leg was stuck in under a thing. Well, I don't really know why she couldn't lift it off. I mean, I thought the gravity on Earth moon was lower. I guess it still was heavy. She may very well just have amputated her leg and then replaced it with a metal. As the years pass and Della's hair get longer, we do see how much it begins to break the former adventurer Della Duck, including the fact on how much she misses her boys and how much she is she refuse. I mean, not refuse. How she regret that she did all of this just because of her curiosity. And then things take a turn for the worse as her ship suddenly gets devoured by the moon mite. And then she runs into two people. Um, an alien man named General uh, and something, and then a female one, Lunaris, both voiced by Lance Redrick and Julia Bowen, respectively. The female one immediately takes a dislike to Della because, well, she seems to hate everyone that isn't mooning. And of course, Della just wants to know where the hell did these people come from? But she's busy, so she tries to find the Moonmite, and they crash land into her nest. But when Della sees the mess of her ship, she snaps into a rage that is very akin to her brother. In fact, she shows many traits here of her brother, despite the fact that I think she tried to repress those things, including the fact that an impatient attitude, a fact of saying "fooey," and well, yes, doing some impulsive things, and now finally a rage that even her nephews, no, her children did. And she lays it on the Moonmite. But when she sees that the Moonmite actually has a baby, and we're just feasting on metal in order to feed it, but I was also hunting for gold, because it turns out the rocket fuel is actually gold for some reason. And where do you find gold on the moon? Well, it turns out Della had a missing tooth despite being a duck that was of gold. Both of them really did think far ahead. Scrooge knew almost this could happen. And well, Della had Oxy too. But seeing the child of the moonmite makes Della remember her own children. So she sacrifices the ship as well as the golden tooth to appease the moonmite's child, and they leave. The general is impressed by this and offered her to stay at their place, which turns out to be on the other side of the moon, a hidden city entirely made of gold. Something that Scrooge always will like. However, despite the fact that Della may finally have a place to stay at while she may work on finding her way back to the Earth, there's a sinister overtone under the Moon people, as the General says that Stella could be useful, and the female one just says, "You better watch your back, Earther." So yeah, this episode was all about Della, and let's not forget one very nice callback to the episode, the Moon theme, which is played here. The Moon theme from the video game and the remaster. Na 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 na, you know. And Della hums it when she tries to repair the ship. And even more heartwarming, she has even made a lyrical song that was a lullaby she sang to her eggs before. So yeah, the DuckTales writers really know their DuckTales. It's amazing. A very emotional episode where we, for once, actually got to see a little bit more character of the Della Duck. And no one of the other appeared. Maybe a small screenshot by Scrooge, but other than that, this was all Della. And I have to say, I like it. I like it a lot. Give me your thoughts if you have any.